Hello, hello. Welcome back to my Prepper Kitchen. If you are new here, we are doing a 12 days of Kitchmas, which in this household is desserts or baked goods. We're trying to use ingredients out of our prepper pantry, but we're also trying to use up things that we have in our kitchen. So last week, my daughter and I did a taste test of a fruitcake, and she was not a fan. I thought it was okay. It wasn't the worst thing I've ever ate. It wasn't anything I'm craving, but I didn't want to waste it. I hate waste. So in thinking of different meals for this 12 days of Kitchmas, I decided let's try to use the fruitcake in a banana bread. I love my banana bread that I make. It's a very simple and easy recipe. So right here, I'm doubling the recipe, and usually 3 to 4 bananas per loaf. So I think I'm using 7 bananas. I'm just mixing them up with like a meat grinder thing just for a coarse mix, and then I start to use the potato masher after that to get them a little bit more mixed. I'll leave this recipe in my description box. So for each loaf, you would add 1 cup of sugar, 1 egg, 1/3 a cup of melted butter, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, and 1 teaspoon of vanilla, and like a pinch of salt, and then 1.5 cups of flour. So I'm just doubling all of that in order to make 2 loaves of bread. So you combined everything up, and I don't think I showed you the butter, but I mixed the butter in before anything else. So the flour is not added at this point. What I do is I take what's left of the fruitcake that we had from last week, and I just cut it into small pieces. And when I was making this recipe, my daughter asked that I please not use what she calls the pepperoni things, the big cherry pieces in the fruitcake were her absolute least favorite. So I just cut this up as small diced pieces as I can, and kind of mix that around. And then after I have that mixed, now my normal recipe, I would add 3 cups of flour to this double batch, so 1.5 cups each loaf. But because of these pieces of bread that I'm putting in, I didn't add quite that much flour. It was more like 2.5 cups. You'll see me add some, stir it around. It still seemed a little bit loose, so I added a little bit more flour. So now I'm just pouring half of my mixture into a greased loaf pan. My oven is set at 350 already, and I'll bake this for an hour. So after the hour is done, I let this sit and cool. I didn't let this sit as long as it needed though, so the bottom broke a little bit, but it still worked. This is darker than I normally make, and it's a little bit looser, I would say. It's not as sturdy, and that probably has to do with it's a different recipe, something we've never made before, but it turned out really good. You can see the little pieces of nuts and fruit that are in there. And my husband actually said, without prompting from me, oh, this banana bread's really good. So I was pretty excited about that. So that's it for day 3 of our 12 days of Kitchmas. I hope you enjoyed our video. It's pretty simple and easy, and we'll see you next time. Bye.